Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Video Game Details. This series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of the mirror. In today's episode, we discover a dancing llama in Guardians of the Galaxy, we find some very suspicious looking sandcastles in Grand Theft Auto 5, and we give Polly a cracker in Minecraft. As always, if you think you know of a hidden video game detail that I'm yet to cover, then the best places to let me know are in the comments section or on my social media accounts, the links to which are in the description. Oh, and before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is an open world action RPG available on PC, Android, iOS, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. The game takes place on the fictional continent of Teyvat, which, as you can see from the gameplay I recorded on PS5, looks absolutely amazing. Of course, having a beautiful world is one thing, but it would mean nothing if it wasn't fun to explore. You can walk, run, climb, swim and glide your way across Teyvat, meaning if you can see something in the distance, you can probably go there. That doesn't mean that you'll want to though. Despite being beautiful, the world of Genshin Impact is full of danger at every turn. Luckily, you can use one of these 7 natural elements to even the odds with spectacular results. Oh, and I haven't even mentioned the version 2.3 update, which released just a few days ago, and brings with it even more weapons, characters, and events. Again, let me remind you, Genshin Impact is free. Oh, and there is one more thing. I've already found what I believe to be a King Arthur Easter egg in Genshin Impact. Outside of Mondstadt, you can find a boy named Arthur trying to pull a sword from the ground. So who knows what other secrets Genshin Impact is hiding. So without sounding too cheesy, what are you waiting for? Use my link in the description below to get Genshin Impact on your devices right now. Not only will you embark on an epic quest full of twists and turns, but you'll also be supporting this channel in the process. Once again, a huge thank you to Genshin Impact for sponsoring today's video, and without further delay, let's get started. So let's begin today's episode with the excellent Watch Dogs 2. Now, since its release in 2016, we've covered loads of cool details from Ubisoft's open world hack-em-up, including dogs that mourn their owners. While today's hidden detail may have been hidden for so long, because to find it, you'll need to jump through a few extra hoops. To see this detail, you'll need to be playing on PC with the HD texture pack downloaded and settings at almost maximum. Now, you're probably expecting some insane graphical detail here, but I'm afraid I have to disappoint. You see, the detail that we're interested in can be found on the scissor lifts that are dotted around San Francisco. If you approach one of these portable lifts, you can spot this sign, which says, "Mumbo jumbo about how to operate this machine in Watch Dogs 2 is of no use to anyone. Since you already know the gameplay, using this baby shouldn't be too difficult. If you have any questions or inquiries about the operation of this machine, then please refer to the control settings in the menu or the gameplay tutorials." You can also go through the paper manual that is supplied with the game. If you downloaded the game and do not have the manual, you can always go online and noodle it. We hope you enjoyed reading this. Now get back to the game and find other Easter eggs. So this message isn't visible unless you have the previously mentioned HD texture pack installed, with certain settings cranked to the max, which is why I believe that a lot of you won't have seen this message before. Speaking of hidden messages, let's briefly revisit the brilliant Going Under. Now, we last checked out Going Under all the way back in episode 46 of this series, where we found out that the best way to solve a Rubik's Cube is to repeatedly throw it on the floor. Apparently. Well, today's Going Under detail can actually be seen on one of the game's many computer screens. Towards the end of the game, things take a turn for the worse, and the company your character works for goes through some pretty extreme restructuring. This, among many other things, causes the computers to blue screen. However, it seems that the Going Under devs didn't bank on us looking at those screens. If you take a closer look, you can see that the message on the screen says, "This is a random text on a blue background, meant to represent a common error." Anyway, it's just a placeholder and you probably won't be able to read it. Well, we can read it, and we did. So when I first featured the Guardians of the Galaxy game a few episodes back, I said that I was certain that the game would go on to feature in future episodes, and well, here we are. The first detail of interest from Guardians can be found on the gang's ship. At the beginning of the game, a space llama is found aboard, with no one having the heart to get rid of it. Now, you may think that having a llama on board a spaceship could lead to chaos, but as you can see, the llama is actually a pretty chill guy. Or girl, I didn't check. However, if you decide to play some music, the llama will do this.
We'll need a new ship.
I suggest getting one that smells more pleasant. Perhaps we should consume the rest of our food rations before we reach nowhere, to make room for new ones.
I'll pass.
So the llama will have a little dance to the Rick Astley classic. Oh, and if there's no audio during the llama dance, it's because YouTube removed it due to copyright reasons. Fingers crossed they didn't. The other detail I've noticed in Guardians can be seen when you reach the planet of nowhere. When you first arrive on the planet, Peter cannot use his guns, but if you press the fire button, he will do this.
I don't even want to do that. For me to take the
I think knowing that eventually all the universe will be extinct.
I suspect the rodents.
So Peter will make gun fingers whilst also making gun sounds. It sort of reminds me of the PlayStation Spider-Man games, where if you walk the street with civilians and press the punch button, Spidey or Miles will do a similar action. So we've already discovered that playing a music box in Minecraft makes parrots dance. But did you ever stop to think that all that dancing might make a parrot hungry? Well, you can actually help with that. If you feed a parrot a cookie, then this will happen. So the parrot will die after eating the cookie. Now in real life, cookies aren't as fatal as they are portrayed in Minecraft, but are still not the best thing to give a parrot. Up next is the latest game in the Pokemon series, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond / Shining Pearl. Now these games are actually remakes of 2006's Diamond and Pearl game, so in terms of detail, there isn't a whole lot that's new. Though knowing you guys, you'll end up proving me wrong. Anyway, the one cool detail that I found can be seen when you're giving the Poketch watch. After finding the 3 hidden clowns, trust me that sentence makes sense if you've played these games before, you'll be given the Poketch. Now the detail here is the time shown on the watch. No, it's not the real world time, it is instead the release date for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which was the 19th of November. I wonder how many of you knew that. So the penultimate game for today's video is The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. Releasing in 2015, the game sees you take on the role of legendary monster hunter Van Helsing in a sort of top-down 3D view. Now, despite the game's serious look, there are a couple of pretty funny details that can be found right at the start of the game. When you arrive at Markovna, the first village in the game, you can find this.
I said moo. Fine. Yes, I can talk. So what? Leave me be. Moo you.
Yep, that's not only a two-headed cow, it's a talking two-headed cow. The other detail also involves a farm animal. Once again, in Markovna, you can find a certain chicken that, if you chase, will do this. So the chicken, fed up with all that running, just straight up disappears, leaving behind an actual Easter egg. So to end today's video, let's take a trip to the beach in Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, the beaches in GTA are some of the most detailed parts of the game, with various people from different walks of life taking the time to sun it up in the sand. Of course, a popular activity at the beach is building sandcastles, and those are present on the beaches of GTA 5, though they do look a little sus. Right, YouTube, if you're watching, this sandcastle is just that. It's an innocent sandcastle. It's not meant to look like something, and if anyone thinks that it does look like something, then they have a dirty mind. Somebody simply went to the beach and erected a sandcastle. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Remember, if you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and tiny details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Be sure to follow me on my social media accounts. The links to those are in the description, and be sure to let me know of any hidden details or Easter eggs that you think I may have missed. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.